been feeling kind of a bit all over the place lately. I think with everything happening in the world, everything happening relationally, in my own life, it seems like a constant struggle of how I want to show up. I'm not sure. I think a lot of days I am spending a lot of energy figuring out how to show up for the people that I love, and it feels overwhelming when I'm also not pouring enough energy into showing up for myself in the ways that I need. I'm not really sure why I'm recording this right now, and I think that I want there to be a reason for this. Maybe that speaks to me wanting there to be a reason for me. And even though I know that inherently we have value merely because we exist, on the day-to-day, the things that I consume and the world that we live in does its very best to convince us that that's not the case. And I think that that's hard. I think that that's hard to contend with how to be in a world, in a society that is not kind to our humanity, that doesn't prioritize our humanity. And having to keep pushing through it anyways, pushing past that despair of what's the point, or the despair of why am I even doing this? And I want to say, like, some days it feels lighter, but a lot of the times it is really freaking hard, and it's like it takes so much to practice that hope and to keep showing up in the most loving way that I can, like constantly unlearning dysfunctional patterns or habits, trying not to numb out my mind with scrolling, and sitting with my thoughts, and like practicing accepting my thoughts and being present with them as I have them, and not overly identify them or let them consume me to an extent that it just like puts me in this state of freeze. I think that like I've been being in a state of freeze for like a very long time, and when I was was in school, I was able to get things done, like, with the power of adrenaline and anxiety. And now that there's no hard deadline, it feels like I'm just sitting in this limbo of it. And I guess in a way, like, I'm working on accepting that as well, accepting that this is where my body is at physiologically, and like this is where my nervous system is at. And I can do things like going outside, going to yoga, which I'm so grateful for, in order to bring myself back to this space of groundedness. And it's so hard because it's like a lot of the times, like, even though I know better, like I know that I'm not my self-critical thoughts, or like I'm not these feelings of despair, but you know, like also accepting that these feelings are normal, and like given everything that's going on, given everything I've been through, like this is a very normal reaction that I'm having. And like feeling really lonely, like a lot of the time. Feeling like, even though like I know that I'm not alone in feeling like this, and I'm surrounded by loving friends, like sometimes it feels like there's so much within us, like so many beliefs, like so many thoughts of self-doubt that just cloud us from living in the way that we hope to, like, and feeling the joy fully. Like I can't, it's so hard for me to be present with even joy. Like the thing that I am most familiar and comfortable with feeling and being in is that feeling of anxiety, that feeling of dread, feeling fear. Like it almost feels like I'm like supposed to be feeling those things. Like I feel, I don't know if this is my Capricorn moon in my 5th house, and I say that jokingly, but also the way that we use these systems to make sense of the world around us. Like I don't know where I'm really going with this thought, but anyways, just like struggling to let myself be present in my joy, and like feeling guilty whenever I feel joy, and it's like, oh, like is this, like sometimes I don't let myself feel it fully because there's this part of me that feels like it's not productive. Oops. But of course it is. Like of course joy is productive. And even that idea of like productivity within systems of capitalism, like that's so warped. Like it's like something like showing up for a friend and spending time responding back to that text from a loved one. Like that's productive. That's productive to me. But it's not really seen as this thing that's like conventionally productive, I guess. It's like I feel a lot of the times I feel overwhelmed navigating these systems and expectations of these systems that we lived in. It's just like it's very unaccepting maybe, but then at the same time there's these like pockets like of these moments of safe haven like around my loved ones where I do feel accepted. Like I do feel like my being is nurtured. I've been thinking about my relationship with insecurities a lot, and I guess how that manifests in myself and like how I even mirror it for other people and how I absorb their projections of their insecurities. And I think it's hard. Like it's hard sitting with them, being with them. On the one hand, intellectually knowing that I was conditioned to have some of these insecurities and, you know, and at the same time, like, struggling to not give weight to them. And, like, being afraid that it will bleed out and affect the people around me. And it just feels like I'm having to contain everything. Like I'm having to contain all of these parts of myself and all of these things that I'm feeling and going through and and it's like dealing with these feelings that come up and these processing these thoughts, and at the same time like realizing how much they're taking away from the things that I want to be doing, the focus that I want to have on creating my art. Like today I really wanted, even yesterday, like I really wanted to like sit down and paint, and instead I was just scrolling because I just felt so much anxiety, and that's what I reached for. I worry that I worry like I wish for the authenticity in all of us to have a safe space to be held and to be received lovingly. And I wish for a world that's attuned with our needs, Hmm. I feel that just every aspect of our lives, the relationships that we have with each other and especially with ourselves, like it's so it's not nurtured enough. I don't think. I think like it feels like from day one it was always this sort of like despite everything you need to take up space, like despite everything you need to be yourself and speak up and do the thing and be the thing, and there's not space for that to just happen as safely and as organically as it can. And I think all of this is like just sitting with this collective grief, processing it, feeling it, working through it, doing the things like as I'm feeling them. It's like constantly contending with, is this enough? Is what I'm saying enough? Is it making enough sense? Is it like will it reach anyone? Like will it matter? And it does, and it will, and like just trusting that oh my goodness. Like right now, even in the back of my mind, I'm like, how am I gonna edit this to make it interesting? And am I speaking fast enough? Am I saying the right words? And it's so like, and I'm just practicing being. It's such a beautiful day outside today. It's getting warmer. I started this video with the intention of sitting with me and journaling. You know, these thoughts just came out. I guess it's kind of journaling in a way. I've been thinking a lot about what sort of things I want to keep to myself and what things I would like to share or like I feel safe sharing. And I don't know. It feels like I'm practicing just easing my way into taking up more space. There's a part of me that doesn't want to edit this at all and just